A little.
Wait, quick question.
Oh,
Can we have a beer while we do this?
I don't care.
Okay, cool.
Shit.
Yeah, I figured I'd be a gentleman about it,
It's afternoon, right?
It, yes.
Yeah, definitely
5 somewhere. It's great.
That's right. Okay, so welcome. This is my second live stream. Our first one was like a songwriters showcase for a little bit younger artists, and we actually had a couple really good things on there. And I'm just trying to find a way to, I don't know, keep me doing something and feel like I'm moving forward with Music United a little bit, because we had all this great momentum coming out of our metal show that we did with you guys in October, and we packed our show New Year's Eve at Focal, and then, as you all know, we went so.
well, don't feel bad, man. Coronavirus hit us all.
Oh, I know, and that's the thing. We're all in the same boat. So
yeah.
let's kind of start with that, since we sort of transition there anyway. And I'll let you guys decide who talks. But Joe's Grotto closing happened shortly before Corona, right? And how do you guys see? And obviously, the scene isn't defined by one venue, but that venue was huge for, I think, everyone on this call, including me. And so once we're out of this, hopefully once we're out of this coronavirus, how do you see the metal scene getting rebuilt?
Well, I guess I'll start. You guys aren't jumping at it, so
they're
jump away.
Coffee.
I looked at Joe's as so I'm relatively new to the Phoenix music scene. I mean, I've been here for 5 years now. I've been with Malo for 4, and Joe's pretty quickly became sort of like home base.
Yes.
We're playing plenty of other venues, but Joe's just feels like home. You go in there and there's always people that I run into these yahoos on the call, every time I go in. I see face. So but that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of walking in there, and on any given night where there's something metal-ish going on, you're gonna find some people and that's part of that Phoenix metal community feel to it. And there are lots of other venues, but I don't know that I've ever felt that community anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. Like, one place doesn't define a whole scene or a whole community, but that's why you think of places when you hear names like the Troubadour or CBGBs or things like that. Like, even if they weren't the only thing, they were something that became an icon to a movement or to a way of doing things. And I think that, Joe's was that place. And yeah, whether we were playing or whether you were just going to see your friends play, you ran in. It was like Cheers, man. Everybody knew your name. It was awesome. And yet it was a place to be involved. It was a place to catch a great show. The sound, it was a good bar. You knew who was behind the bar. They took care of you. It was very welcoming to everybody. I played my first gig there when I was 18. I walked in on a Tuesday and Joe was hungover. He brought us in the back office and said, "Hey, how about November 5th?" We said, "Great, Joe." And that was 10 years ago, and I've been playing there ever since. And I mean, looking for places now, I mean, there's definitely other venues, and I think that with the right kind of promotion, with the right booking and the right involvement, we can hopefully not just put all our eggs in one basket of a place, but
for sure,
hopefully build up a foster of places that can start to fill those shoes, as it were.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, I'm probably a little newer to the music community than the rest of you guys. I've been, in the Phoenix scene since about 2016. And, I mean, that whole time, Joe's Grotto, of course, wasn't exactly what it always had been at that point. From what I had heard, there were huge shows there for years and years, and that sort of tapered off. But in spite of that, that was where my local community always was. You know, it's like Zach said, everybody there knows my name. The bartenders know me on a first name basis. If I walk up to the bar, somebody there says usual, and I say, hell yeah, the usual. You know what I mean? It's got that community feel to it, and I get hints of that at other venues in the scene, but no place I think was as central to that part of the music community as Joe's was.
Right. I think Michael's got a slightly different thing because you've always been underage while Joe's was around, right? So
Yeah, I had one show there where I was over 21.
yeah,
Maybe.
so yeah, you weren't always allowed to hang out being minors. You had to take off, or
I had the little corner behind the gates and the yeah. So I was able I got to sit down at the bar area one time. It was kind of cool. But yeah, it was a cool venue. I mean, that's the first venue where I think they actually knew who I was and I knew names there and stuff. So it's kind of cool, especially being 15, 16 playing there. It's kind of being able to go in there okay, someone actually knows your name, because a lot of times you kind of get hassled when you're sitting, when you're baby faced and no one knows who you are. But yeah, so that place was the first it felt like home in a way, as far as playing gigs and stuff. So yeah, I kind of miss Joe's, but hopefully something kind of takes the place in that, in that sense, and maybe some pent up energy from everybody with COVID. People want to go out and do stuff, and people took going out and doing stuff for granted. So maybe there'll be a new home base for the music scene in general.
yeah, we definitely need something on the north end though, because all I can think of, I don't know, Chopper John's, but it's not really. Or is it Chopper John's or Copper John? There's both.
Chopper John's. Chopper John's.
I think that close.
It's a good venue, but it's not a metal type venue really. Although
yeah, and it doesn't have the. It's a good bar. I mean, I played my first show with MBM there. I love the place, and it's a cool place to come in and have some cheap beer and play some rock and roll. Don't get me wrong.
That's right.
But it doesn't have the accommodations.
That's
it's
right.
small ass bar, and it's homey, it's great, but and then of course the stage is the broom closet in the corner. So
that's right.
Joe's, you have a stage, you got lights, you got the whole nine.
Yeah, Joe's was my favorite stage. I like it better than the Marquee.
I love playing that stage
in terms of being able to see the band and what's going on. The Marquee, sometimes they just hit everything with the red light and that's it. That's all you get all night, or the blue light. Club Red's good at the blue. Well, let's introduce everyone real quick. I'm Dave. I'm the founder, and right now pretty much one of the main volunteers, if not the only volunteer at this point, while this is going on, for Music United Against Teen Bullying and Suicide. And right up here, I see Mr. Stone Martin from Malo de Dentro. And we've got Michael from Ironkill in there somewhere, and Kyle from Crowning Thieves, and Zack from MBM, and 18 other bands.
Yeah, man. I'm just there. I nomad. I migrate.
You are. I've seen you in these 5, and I know there's one other that you still are in. So.
Yeah, and I'm starting another one. So.
Great. Yeah.
I don't sleep.
So what do we got? We got Lead Chains.
We got Lead Chains. We got MBM. We got my solo. Hold on.
You have played with, and you played with We Are Hologram occasionally.
I play with We Are Hologram. I play with the Grunge Sponges. I play with the Blind Owls, which is like a 70s classic rock cover band. And then with Donnie and Tyler Butler, I'm starting a thrash metal thing. So that's 8?
Yeah.
We're going with 8.
Hillary Buff.
And Hillary Buff. Yeah, I forgot the punk band. Yes, 9.
So he's a busy man. And so basically you're SOL right now. You have no work.
Oh man, this is sucked.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been terrible. But luckily, over the Memorial Day weekend, a band called the Grunge Sponges, they're like a 90s they do Nirvana and Alice in Chains and Foo Fighters, that kind of deal. And I was able to fill in for them because they needed a guitar player. They've been playing like restaurants at our bars, so through that, I guess, loophole, they've still been able to get the occasional show. So like that, you know, a couple extra bucks in the pocket, which has been very thankful. And they're great guys. I love playing with them, and so it's kind of kept me out there in a limited capacity. But yeah, everything else has just been shut down. You know,
I've recently seen you in one other band right before the shutdown, and I think it was your first appearance at the Marquee Theater.
Yes, I substituted for painting fences. Seth Norman, singer, great guy, love them all. He couldn't make the gig, and they said, well, we've known Zack for years. Why don't we get him to do it? He can do the jams, and I said sure. And it was kind of funny because like 2 days before, his commitment fell through, so he was actually able to do it. But they'd build like, hey, you're gonna see Zack with painting fences. It's gonna be a one-time thing. We really built it up, you know.
Yeah.
So luckily for them being so gracious, they still let me play the gig. And then Seth came on and we did a couple songs together. But I was still able to do the gig, and that was my first time playing the Marquee, and it was amazing. Like
it was cool because at that show, Zack did something different than what I think most of us are familiar with, and that's no guitar. He's just
front-manned it.
He's just
I don't know with my
front-manning it.
hands. It's like, what do I do with these things? You know? So,
Look, Ma, no hands.
no, look, Ma.
Most boys who don't dance, the guitar is crucial.
I know. Oh man, I'm telling you, with these moves, you know, I can do the chicken leg, you know, but that's about all I got. Sprinkler, you know. But so I just basically just channeled my best Robert Plant and just went with it, without the open shirt, of course. You know, I mean, I got a beard gut. It's been, you know, but I'm getting older.
Right.
But
No, he kicked butt. I'm like, whoa, he's
Thanks.
killing it. Anyway, so okay, we kind of talked with Zack about how his quarantine's going. Stone, what's up with you? What's up with Malo? What's happening?
We haven't even had a full practice in 6 months, so kind of jonesing a little bit to get back in there.
Yeah.
We lost our lead guitarist, so you know, we actually shut down the entire shop, and then Brett, our drummer, decided that he didn't feel like shutting down the whole shop, so we brought it back, and now it's the three of us for now, and we've just been writing new material, getting some recording done. I'm getting my recording chops up to snuff. Kyle actually has been assisting with some of that. He's got a little guest vocal on one of the new songs, and he's the one with the music degree. So I come back to him to go, okay, what am I doing wrong? What doesn't sound right? And so Kyle's been a good sounding board for that stuff. He might be full of shit, but I give him the benefit.
I mean, yeah, but that's why we love him.
As long as it works.
I saw that.
Oh, stop it.
Stop.
Yeah, so we're just writing and recording. We'll, as soon as the bars are back open and ready to do some more shows, we'll have a whole new set of material. We're about 5, maybe 6 songs in. We got a couple of covers under our belt, so we'll be releasing some new recordings real soon, probably in the next month or so.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Congrats, man. I didn't realize it was coming out that soon.
Yeah, it seems like this year's been the year where people have lost a couple people.
Yeah.
You
Drum
lost
sure.
dropping like flies.
right before COVID too, Kyle, didn't you?
Yep. We had to part ways with our drummer and our bass player right before quarantine. They decided they wanted to join other bands, and that's cool. You know, absolutely wishing the best of luck. But it was kind of funny for quarantine to hit right after all that happened. It's like, well, I guess that's not happening now. So that's been interesting. We did, hire a new drummer, and we brought in a guy to stand in on bass for us. Really great guys, but we haven't been able to meet up with them in 6 months either, because, you know, just like Stone was saying, lock-in has been going on in full force, and they're terrified, and my family's all over the health profession, so they're just worried that they'll be exposed and all of that. So I've been kind of shifting gears while all this is going on, like Stone is doing. I've been doing a ton of songwriting and a ton of recording. Been getting very busy in the studio, producing for myself and for other bands, and that's been going really well. But other than that, I mean, production has been like my bread and butter right now because there's no shows going on. I miss it. I miss it like crazy.
Yeah, I think everyone does.
I think the writing and recording, Kyle, like you're saying, it's kind of, it keeps you in the game a little bit, but there's nothing that beats getting out there live on stage. That's I don't want to speak for anyone else, but that's what I live for, and I love getting the recording down and getting my thoughts out there, but it's not the same.
Well, yeah, I think you do speak for all of us at that point, because we live in a medium that's performance art. Like we could have been poets and just written lyrics, had them publicated, and that's all well and good. But our medium, our art form, calls for live interpretation. And so, we do love to write. Like MBM, we've been working on songs. We just released, and we're going to be releasing the EP in a couple days on the 13th, actually. And it sucks because we wanted to have a show, and that's not happening. So, it's like, well, to hell with it. Just get it out there. And then once everything blows over, we'll do a proper thing. But even then we get the EP released and we're still writing more material as we speak, because you got nothing else to do. So if you're going to take this time, if life is going to push you into that corner, you either cry about it or you adapt. So then you shift your gears. You look into, okay, well, we got this time. Let's write some songs. Let's get some production going. Let's work on our marketing plans. Let's work on promotion when we're going to bust out. Because all of us here, when this is over, we're going to need to bust out of the gate, as it were. And we're going to need to get people, because people are going to be wanting to play, and people are going to want to see shows. Hopefully, they've been sitting in their houses for months. They're going to want to go out. They're going to want to see things. And we need to get them something we're seeing.
You won't recognize anyone. We've all gained like 60 pounds.
Yeah, well, I haven't drank a lot of beer. The gut's coming. Those tight jeans aren't going to fit anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let me jump over to Michael real quick. Hey, Michael.
Hey, man.
So, what's what's been happening for you guys spring and summer this year, or for you and or just overall?
Yeah, for me personally, so I just joined up with Motive as a second guitar player, and I've been working a little bit more with them, because Ironkill's kind of, we all kind of are being tugged in different ways and stuff, and like Steven's going into, he's certified EMT, and he wants to go into paramedics and stuff, so we all kind of have different things going on in our lives. So only time will tell once we kind of go back to normal what the final state of Ironkill is. But as far as me personally, just been kind of working with Motive, and we had a lot of stuff planned. Like we would have been going on tour next month, so that'd been cool. But we just been kind of getting together every once in a while and writing and stuff, just whatever. But as far as like Zack was saying, just write, just adapt and overcome. But try not to set any like solid plans, because I feel like nowadays it kind of leads to heartbreak. So I just kind of go with the flow, and whatever we can do, just make the most out of it. If it just means jamming for an afternoon or whatever. But yeah, so it's kind of,
Yeah, we're definitely at a one day at a time sort of thing right now, where you can really only make plans
Through that
a day in advance or something. Now I know Ryan has, she's basically riding her motorcycle all over the place, and Riley's into martial arts and recently chopped his hair.
Yeah, he started up a new band with Nate from Condemned Till Dawn called RSEF and stuff. So they're getting stuff going. They're kind of working on stuff too. But yeah, we're all kind of just, things are I mean, we all like each other, and we all like what we have with Ironkill and stuff. Just certain things are just kind of tugging us to something else for the time being. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I was just kind of on a different page.
So hey guys, how tough is it to actually keep a band together at times like this? I guess they can't really run off and play with a lot of other bands either, but someone may have to move somewhere to get a job or whatever. Have you guys had any struggles in that area other than Kyle apparently?
For right now, with MB, right now with MBM, like it's been going good. Like we're still, as I said, riding and still practicing when we can, but for the time being, because a lot of us work either in 3 out of 4 of us work in like either construction or electrical fields or what have you. Craig, our drummer, got switched to nights. So that's kind of and we're all apparently essential workers at this point. So it's kind of a pain in the ass when, we get off at 2:30 and he's going into work at 2. And it's like, how do you schedule a practice during that time? So it's just, but at the same time, we're just keeping each other busy. And I think that at least with keeping writing and, through the band chats and that what we have, we do keep each other busy. Cause like, here's an idea, and I send it, think of something, or write lyrics, or write a drum part, or what have you. Just to keep yourselves engaged. And it's a weird getting used to, because you're so used to being able to get together and work things off of each other. And so it takes them kind of it puts a greater appreciation on doing your homework, coming in. And when we do have that time, you got 2-3 hours at a rehearsal that you're paying for. You only got that time to really buckle down and say, okay, look, we looked at the things, hey, I heard that thing you sent me, I got an idea, let's run with this. Okay, then we can do the tweaks and what have you from there. But it really makes you take what we had for granted, learning to take things that we had for granted previously, but really to kind of do your homework and really appreciate the time that you do have to get things done. And I think that's something that hopefully that's a lesson that we as a band and hopefully as a scene don't forget when things start to open again. It's like, we got time in just in that sense and in the larger sense of our lives. You only got so much time, so make it happen, get it going, because you got now, and that's about it.
Boy, I know that feeling.
Yes, you do.
I've almost had my time cut short. So anyway, I try to relish it when I can.
Yeah. I think we really saw it as, your question was about keeping members, and we were in the middle of a breakup when all this started. Right. And so it doused our plans for a farewell show, but maybe that means we'll have a reunion show later on. So but I think it sparked a couple things in other people in the band. In terms of, like, we just started messing around doing some acoustic covers and recording those. And then it was like, okay, wait, this is low pressure. There's no time limits on this. We had put all these pressures on ourselves prior to that. And I think that's, sometimes that can wear on people for sure. Where the pressure of getting shows, of writing, of promoting. Promotion can be a huge weight on your shoulders sometimes, if you're doing it right. And I think that, that was starting to get to us. And so all of a sudden it was like, wait, we have no shows for the foreseeable future. We have no pressures to say we have to do this or we have to do that. And so all of a sudden we're on our own timeline again. And it evened everything out for us. And that made it a lot easier, I think, to get things done. And with us, the writing and recording process, we're already set up to do it remotely because we live on opposite corners of the valley. So, with the drummer living an hour and 15 minutes from me, going over there is not, on a regular basis is not a real great option. So we're really kind of already set up to do that. So we've been recording these new songs at a level that I think is, can be put out to the public, and we don't have to go to a studio. We don't have to get together to do it. We rewrite, send it, record it, send it, and then have people add to it or, provide feedback. And it's kind of the way we've been doing things for the last 2 or 3 years. So like I said, I think for us, it really just, the effect was to take the pressure off. It's like, okay, now when things start to get back to normal, we'll get back to humping it, pretty hard. But for now, we're just kind of doing our own thing, and whatever comes out, comes out. And if we need a week or a month to do nothing, then we have a week or a month to do nothing. There's nothing there. So,
God forbid a year.
God forbid, indeed. Jesus.
We're coming up on 6 months now. So since I personally quarantined, but I knew I had a surgery coming. So I went to NAMM. I came home with a cold, actually very similar things, ended up in the hospital for a night. 103 temperature. And then I found out 2 people I knew at NAMM were sick when they got back. And we just got to wonder if we might have had early strains of that. Anyway, either way, we're where we are now. And we just need to make sure that when everything's open again, that we can get all the fans out, I'm sure they're just like us. They're as anxious to get out and just see something, do something, as we are.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So let's kind of transition into, like Stone was saying, keeping yourself busy and working on new things, and different things. How does this play in? We are Music United against, and ideally we're teen mental health and stuff, but yeah, it's everybody. We don't want to lose a person, period. But how do we keep our sanity? Each of you, we can just start with Stone and go across or whatever. How do each of you keep your mind from getting too depressed? And so I know some of you have heavier problems with that than others. I know I personally do, but I don't know. Overall, I'm feeling pretty good and optimistic, and I'm just kind of, I forget which one of you said, just kind of got to look at this as an opportunity that's we haven't done before and just trying to figure it out. So Stone, how do you handle this?
I think the first maybe like 3 months wasn't too bad. I really didn't miss people all that much.
No.
I don't know. If that makes me
Can't say he's wrong. Where's the lie?
Yeah.
We like the break.
If it makes me an asshole, I'm fine with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I realized recently, I was in a grocery store, fully masked up and all that, and we were there just a little bit too long, and it was like, okay, now I remember why this didn't bother me, because I just can't deal. I actually think the time away from people has made me more sensitive to that. I don't want to say I've enjoyed having a little bit more quiet, because there are 5 people in my house, including a 4-year-old. I don't know. It's the for me, right, like I said, the writing and the recording of music has been key. Even just doing, like I said, I've done 3 or 4 cover songs now, and just you got to keep yourself busy. You got to be able to vent. You got to be able to get that stuff out. Like I said, I have a great family, and being able to talk to them about it, and being able to have them talk to me about it. We're great resources for each other, I think. And, I know they got my back and I got theirs. So, and then being able to, okay, so I'm almost 50, and I remember what it was like to, have, if we were quarantined when I was, say 20, our only real mode of talking to anybody was telephone, and then you're limited to who you can afford to call, because it's long distance to call Joe Schmo or whoever. And so having resources like Zoom or like Skype or just social media and stuff like that, I think that's really helped kind of keep us connected.
Oh yeah.
Not a good example because there's a lot of shit there, but being able to, I still contact Kyle. I talk to Kyle a couple times a week on Messenger, and that's been good. I'm keeping that connection. So I think that really helps a lot, but I'll kind of leave it at there. I'll let you guys take it from there.
I'm kind of with Stone on this one personally. I have to ask myself, what am I doing right now? If I'm feeling really down, or if I'm going through a low spot, or I'm just having a tough time for whatever reason, what am I doing right now about it? At the same time, I've been super blessed and fortunate through all of this, because I live with family and I have a wonderful girlfriend, and I haven't had to absorb a lot of the financial impacts that most people have, but when you're stuck in a house for 6 months, you start to ask yourself some tough questions. So I really have been working hard to keep busy, in the studio and songwriting, at least get my ideas out that way. And also I've been doing a ton of running, as weird as that is, just because it's something to keep me active and out of my chair, because all the time that I spend in here, you know, recording and mixing and writing and obsessing over one detail over the next, there's just a ton of time in a chair that adds up. And I think that more than anything contributes to me, you know, to having negative mood swings and having those hard times. So
Yeah.
for me, that's what I do is I got to find something to keep myself active, because I can't be up on the stage freaking out anymore, you know, at least not for a while. So that's my outlet instead.
So you're running and nothing's chasing you? What the fuck?
Actually,
That's a thing?
Actually,
It's hot outside, bro.
I'm running and I'm chasing me.
There you go. There's your next lyric. Boom.
It's usually at nighttime though, honestly. So it's not
that's not bad.
sucky outside. Yeah, it's not sucky outside. Go like 10, 11 o'clock. You can go for a good 5-6 miles and not even sweat. It's not bad out there at that time.
There you go.
Well,
so what about you, Zach? What are you doing?
Oh, well, you know, writing in the 18 million bands that I'm in, you know, between all of that, that's enough to be like, okay. And it's cool because it's literally like Monday, get home from work on this. Tuesday, get home from work on that. And it's nice. Like it's still structured. And I mean, I'm still an essential worker, so I'm still doing the job. So it's nice, and it's physical labor. So I'm still getting that exercise, which is really good. Because I'll tell you what, I mean, I love being a lazy bum and sitting and watching old wrestling movies like as much as the next guy, whoever. But yeah, I could not do that for 6 months. I could not. But so, you know, it's like I get home and okay, this band and this band, I work on this, and this band on Tuesday, this band and this band on Wednesday, and then, you know, and it's allowed me, for a guy who's not very organized, I'll tell you what, it's given me the opportunity to learn how to compartmentalize everything, how to manage my time better, because then you seem to have so much more of it. And then, like, you know, at first when quarantine happened, I was just letting it slip away. And you're like, all right, this will be over soon. And then you start getting, no, it's not. And
maybe not.
Yeah, it's not. And so you start looking like, okay, well, how am I going to stay productive? And luckily with having all those projects and having all those irons in the fire, it gives me like, and half of those bands are, you know, either cover bands or stuff I'm writing for. So it's like, okay, cover band on Monday, original band on Tuesday, cover band on Wednesday. And it's just like, and it's great because it keeps me limber too. Cause I'm playing so much and I love it. And it's keeping me active. It's keeping my mind focused on music. It's it's learning me to learn other people's songs and still learn how to write through that. I mean, like, you know, if you're going to learn from the greats, right? So, you know, so I'm still studying music. I'm still working. So I'm still getting a physical outlet. I'm still getting the occasional gig with the grunge sponges and doing that. And that's fun. Well, but it's allowed me to manage my time better, and it's allowed me to be more focused. So if I'm sitting there going like, well, I'm bored, I'm like, I have no fucking reason to be bored. You know, there's something on the back of my mind like, hey, you should be doing something. Oh yeah, I do.
Like, what are you doing right now?
Exactly. There's always something on the back of my mind like, did you do that? Did you learn that song yet? No, I didn't. Should you go learn that song? Yeah, I should. Yeah. And I get to stare myself in the mirror and be like, Zack. And
that probably one of your coping mechanisms then is just to stay busy, make sure that that downtime is being used productively. And I think that's healthy.
Exactly. Because if you just let it go, then yeah, you're letting life win, and you're just letting it you're letting it just take over you, really. And damn it wins in the end anyways, because we all die. So it's like, you know, don't die during this. Let's come out stronger. Let's come out more badass. We should all have a record by the time this is over. All right.
Seriously.
Damn it.
And maybe it sounds a little.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, maybe it sounds a little too free love for some people, but also, you know, in the middle of all this, you're isolated, you're by yourself. Have you done anything nice for somebody else lately?
Oh, that's good.
True.
Have you done something for your family? Have you done something to put a smile on somebody else's face?
What if I hate people, Kyle? What's the matter with you?
Really, that
dogs.
I should have done.
Got to volunteer at an animal shelter. That was scary.
Just so you know, when I'm on stage, I despise all of you. Okay, it's not.
Yeah, we
I just
know
wanted
that.
you to know that I wish you all would die as soon as I leave.
Okay, Michael.
Just kidding. I really
Michael's
wish you
all
would.
quiet back there. What were we talking about? Oh, mental health. How are you doing? How are you holding up? How's
Yeah, I'm doing good. I think first month or two is kind of, in some ways, it was a dream come true to play Xbox all day. But then it started getting a little stir crazy because I play hockey and I was like, can't play hockey anymore. I wouldn't mind going playing hockey. It's like, man, I wouldn't mind playing a show. I wouldn't do this. And like I said earlier, I was kind of making these plans, just kind of setting myself up for heartbreak. I think last couple months just kind of leaned in on the idea that it is what it is. Stop making plans. It's like just play guitar to play guitar, or just watch TV, or just do whatever, and we'll get out of it the same way we got into it. So it's like once I kind of leaned in on it is what it is, stop making plans and just plan for whatever, just let things happen as they happen. I became okay with it again, but I got a little stir crazy about 3 or 4 months into it, which is crazy. It kind of surprised me because usually I'm one, it's like the more lazy I can be, the better. And like I said, first month or two is like almost like a dream come true, is sleep in, play Xbox. But kind of got old
After a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think as humans, most of us need some form of structure, right? And if we're not good at having it ourselves or doing it ourselves, sometimes our job or our life or whatever we have going provides us that structure. And all of a sudden, all that's gone, well, except for you essential workers, and thank you for whatever it is you're doing out there. But so it's a little bit different. You got to learn how to deal with that. I've watched my daughter, 17, getting starting her senior year, try to adjust through this. She didn't get to go on the foreign exchange program. She didn't get to this and that and the other. That girl is resilient as hell. I tell you, volleyball season canceled. It's just all that stuff. But she's I don't know, for someone so young, she bounces back. Just amazing. Just finds a different interest. And so I try to learn from that, but I'm an old dog. Teaching us new tricks isn't all that easy.
I'll tell you what, as I'm thinking about it, I will say I've been real tempted to drink a lot more. I'm not picking on Zach because he's drinking.
No, that's all right.
That's his third.
Second.
Since we started.
The first couple of weeks of
fourth,
quarantine,
fifth,
I was putting away fists of whiskey like it was nothing. But then I started to get real fat, so that stopped.
True that.
Run out of money, so.
Yeah.
But I also recognized it and said, okay, I can't keep up this pace. I'm just doing it because I'm bored more than anything else.
Exactly.
But I think there's also, there's lots of people out there that have that as a coping mechanism. I'm just going to numb myself until this whole fucking thing has passed. And that's not a good coping mechanism. It's not, I still have the occasional drink, but I'm not numbing myself every day. And I hope that people are sort of recognizing that and going, okay, it's not a good excuse to just be numb all the time. So
no, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, on that note, I hate to be that guy that goes back to the cliche, but we're sort of all in this together. And I think right now, of all times in human history, is a great time for us to all be present and feeling, I still totally have a drink every now and again, and I still totally, enjoy that. I love that. But I think my tendency, like Stone's, was in the beginning to want to just numb myself and ignore it all. And that isn't going to work.
Yeah, if your personality's at all slightly addictive, yeah, you can gravitate over to that real quick. Or like Stone said earlier, I think, or one of you said, boredom. You drink, you eat, whatever out of boredom. Yep. And I have to admit, I do that, particularly in the afternoon after I've had my medication of choice. And so I'm trying to cut down on the pain, of course, but also it does help de-stress a little, which I have a little bit of that too. So I think we all kind of got to keep an eye on those sort of things. And in my case, the munchies. Oh my God! But I was at the I was at the
Those
doctor's
Cheeto Puffs, man, they'll get you. They'll get you.
Yeah, I was at the doctor's office the other day though, and I'm down 15 pounds since the start of COVID, so I'm doing well because
Nice.
I just snack
Good
like
for you, man.
Yeah, good for you.
I don't know
Right
if
on,
I'm
Donkey
eating
Kong.
it. Yeah, I'm not eating any meals, but man, if there's cookies in the fridge, no, I'm
I
kidding.
mean,
So Music United. I've told the story about why I started it a couple of times. I'm not going to go into that right now because I want to hear from you guys, and that's how or why did you decide to contact Dave, or maybe I can't contacted you guys and said, hey, I'm doing this thing. You interested in playing once in a while? How did that come about with you guys? Why are you involved?
I think for me, because you asked, but the big reason is because I have kids, and I would never want to think that. I mean, we have pretty open communication lines with our kids, and I mean they're older. My daughter's 27, my son is going to be 20, and we have pretty open lines of communication. But there's still things they're not going to tell me as a parent that they might tell someone else. And no matter how many times we talk to them and sort of nudge them a little bit and remind them that we're here to talk and that we can talk about anything, there's still going to be those things that they're just not. I mean, I don't think any of those parent-child relationships are perfect. So I hate to think that they don't know that even if they don't feel like coming to me or their mother, then they have somewhere they can go, and it's organizations like this that promote that are able to provide, I think, some support systems that might not otherwise be there. And my kids are they're 7 years apart, but they're best friends and they have each other, and that's awesome. They tell each other the things they won't tell me.
Exactly.
I've always told
solid.
them, yeah, you don't have to. I won't bug you for stuff like that. If that's things that are secret between the two of you, I'm just glad you've got that person to talk to. But I think the organization and the purpose that you have, Dave, for doing this stuff, I think affects and has the potential to affect everybody that we care about. And that's really where my heart lies. I want to help promote that.
Yeah.
Cool. Who's up? Michael, let's get you next here.
So yeah, I think we did your first show or one of your first shows. We kind of jumped on pretty quick. I think it was in the time when because we met you through Pudding, I believe. You were doing
Through Pudding.
Shooting photos for Pudding, yeah. And then when you got this thing going, and so we played that one up in Prescott.
You guys like, I found the old what is the old memory thing on Facebook where I said, hey people, I have this idea, and I think it was you, the Insomniacs, and maybe Elizabeth Ty, who ended up moving to New York to go to college, were immediately, you guys, maybe the Joeys too, you were just all like, boom, right there within minutes. And so, anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. And I think 'cause at the time, because I was in high school, and I never had problems with depression or anything, fortunately, but I knew a lot of people who do, and especially being in high school at the time. And there was always kind of a weird stigma, like, if any other part of your body is having problems or hurting or injured or whatever, it's like it's socially acceptable to talk about it, and there's programs for it, but there's always something weird if you're like mental state. If there's something where your mental state needs like physical help or whatever, that there's something weird about that with people.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of cool being something that kind of normalizes that it's okay to have certain things with like your mental state with issues and stuff, and it's okay to perceive help the same way if you hurt your arm, go to the doctor. So I think it was just kind of cool being part of something that kind of normalized a scenario people can go get help for their mental state the same way they can go get help for anything else. So it's always where I was kind of a fan of the idea and like playing the shows and stuff. And it was cool once we got the metal show going and stuff, because for a while there was like we're the only metal band on the thing, which was fun.
I did like to mix it up a little bit, but I also determined we could sell out a metal show every time, I think. So
Yeah, and that says that's the depression and all that kind of stuff is kind of real prevalent in metal. A lot of metal fans come from those situations, and I think metal kind of attracts people in those situations because there's a lot of it's one of the most real musics, when it comes to that and the lyrics and everything. So it seems to have a fan base that can understand those situations. So I think it was I think you kind of tapped into a gold mine. It's too bad this COVID thing happened, but yeah, the metal world and stuff, it's definitely a good place to get the message out there.
well, I thought it was cool for a couple reasons. One of the main reasons is, and I'm almost transitioning to the next subject yet, so we'll have to jump back to Zack and Kyle, is that it seems like when I started this and get like one metal band or something, next thing I know, all these metal bands are jumping on board. And yeah, a couple of I've asked, some I didn't. I think Zack and Jared, I think we were in Prescott Valley, and I happened to mention it was coming, and you guys said sure. And Kyle, I actually photographed him long before I even knew who he was at Mesa Music Fest. He's back playing some alley stage or something, and I hear some loud music, and okay, go see what's up there. So I've run back because my job was to take pictures, and there he is in the dark, basically playing, shredding away with Crowning Thieves. And so it's just everyone seems to, once I mentioned the idea, the metal band's just sort of like, yeah, we want this. And I think part of that is because when you go to a metal show, I mean, it's not quite like a punk show. There's not a lot of slamming going on like people perceive, at least in the clubs, because we're old and it hurts, at least on some of us. But I don't know. There's just a camaraderie there that seems a little it seems to work for us. And I've just kind of wanted to bring it all together again. But part of the reason for the different styles, Michael, is just I don't know, it didn't work at Joe's. Let's just put it that way. It seems to work everywhere else where I kind of mix it. But Joe's, after that first show, it's like, okay, this is strictly a metal bar here. We're going to do it. So I jumped off. I saw Kyle's face. Now we're over to Zack. Kyle,
Sure.
what were we talking about before we got off subject?
Well,
how'd you get involved? Well, you and I, we've talked about our issues to each other a couple of times, so
yeah,
I knew your heart was there. So
that was how you and I met, was at the Mesa Music Festival, and I apologize because I had forgotten that. That was such a wild day, honestly. I mean, on top of playing that show, it was like a 14-hour workday with the Best Clothing Company putting together their bodega that hosted that stage. But I remember that. That was a ton of fun. It was a great opportunity to meet you. And I remember, it may not have been there. It might have been the next Shadow Guilt show that I saw you at the Marquee Theater. We stood and talked about it for a while, and we really connected on that because, I don't talk about it a whole bunch, but I've struggled with depression my whole life genetically and for other factors, and I've lost more than my fair share of friends to that struggle too. Yeah. And it's something that's really important to me. And so when I realized that was the cause that was being championed, I was absolutely all about it. It was a ton of fun to play that show too, by the way. That was one of the most fun shows I've played in a while, especially at Joe's Grotto. I haven't seen it pack out like that in a while. But
even in the middle of the night, you were on in the morning. Our show.
Yeah, you were on like 1. It was fantastic.
You went on at like 2 a.m. or something. It's like
something crazy. Like after midnight. I remember that.
That was a good time.
I'm surprised that many people. Yeah, that was a great time. But
that was a good time.
That was how I got involved. Was just meeting with you personally and realizing that this was a cause that was, important to all of us and runs really deeply within the metal community, especially among other areas. So it was something that I wanted to get on board with.
Sweet.
So Zach, you're up, man.
Other than Jared said, "Hey, I think we're gonna do this." What you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was like, so we're doing, yeah, okay. But no, yeah, especially when we did Prescott Valley, and that was such a fun time, and I had a great time doing that, and it was really cool to. But I mean, in terms of what the my own personal motivations, like I've had friends that, even though fortunately for me, I say fortunately, I've never had a friend commit suicide on me. Thank God for that. But I've had friends that have dealt with depression issues that were, they were cutters, or they were bulimic, or, like still self-destructive tendencies. And, and of course these things can always manifest into something more. And thankfully they never did. And then in my first band, when I was 18, we were young and stupid, wannabe rock stars, and egos and things get in the way, and took way too many chemicals than I should have. And I've done myself for a very long time, and I was very self-destructive. And eventually I was able to dig my way out of that hole. And so when it came to something like this, it's like, I've never had anyone lost to suicide, thank God. But I've seen those self-destructive tendencies, and I see how it's very easy for someone to lose themselves, both literally and figuratively speaking. And so it's like, and the beautiful thing about, at least in the metal community in of itself, is like, metal is the music of the outcast. Like, metal is the music of those who feel like they don't belong, and feel like that they're weird, or they're not good enough, or they're not welcome. And so when it's great to see a bunch of misfits come together and say, fuck you, all right, we're fine, go away, we don't need you, we got each other. And I think that's the beauty of metal. That's the that's the beauty of finding a community where you can all it takes is for one guy to wear an Iron Maiden shirt, and you go, dude, and then instantly you become best friends with that person. Like, and it's happened to me. You're gonna see a guy wearing a shirt, and you go, hey, you know that guy? I love that band, dude. You can just geek out on something. It forms those friendships. It's an inroad. And I think the community is a great way for us to find the deeper workings of each other, just through finding common interest. And then you understand more about other people. Metal doesn't have a color. Metal doesn't have a creed. Just, to quote Bill and Ted, just be excellent to one another. That's all you got to do. And that's why you can be white, black, gay, straight, purple, alien. It doesn't matter. You like Maiden? Sweet. All right, we're good.
That's right.
And you're still gonna put your arm around them, and you're still gonna headbang in the front of the stage, and it's still gonna be awesome. You become best friends with that person in the night, and that's, metal's a saving grace. It really is. It's for those who are looking for something bigger. And I think that what this is for something bigger. And if we all can contribute our individual talents to help with that, I think that's an honor, and I think it's the least that we can do.
For the record, if I see Zack at a show, I'm avoiding him like the plague.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
And I love the guy.
I love you, man. And that only depends. I might have showered. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
I am not avoiding Zack. I'll give him a big wet kiss. Come here, big boy.
There you go. I'll take it.
with the Iron Maiden shirt, this isn't quite the same level, but I was I think I was photographing Flotsam and Jetsam at Club Red, and I'm wearing an Ironkill shirt, right? Another Iron band, but not Iron Maiden. So I'm wearing an Ironkill shirt, and some young guy, early teens, maybe mid-teens, is saying, I like those guys. I like that shirt. I've seen them before. And I go, yeah, the guitar player's like standing back by at the beginning of the tables. He never went over to say hi to Michael. I offered him to bring him over and say hello, but he was all excited about the Ironkill shirt. So
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
A little plug there. What else you guys want? Lunch, right? No.
I want a free lunch.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
Yeah, I'd love to have free lunch. So how many of you are actually out there with jobs other than Zack right now?
Not
get
out
of the
there.
house.
I'm working from home right now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm doing some stuff from home, but that's about it.
Yeah, Michael, are you at the clinic or?
Yeah, I'm working at the animal hospital. Yeah.
Good
Oh,
man.
cool.
Okay. Yeah. So at least no one's going broke yet. So that's good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm just
So-
I'm thankful to be working, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about venues because Joe's been out of business before this for his own reasons, and right now we have the Save Our Stages. I know the place that does most of our rock shows, and it's really because he offers and kind of gave us a home, and that's at Focal. And he's with the stimulus, he got enough told him through to the end of the year. Now he's a restaurant too.
Yeah.
Typically pretty good food.
I love their fried rice.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the pineapple
Man.
fried rice. Yeah.
Oh,
So anyway, they
They
have.
mean bowl of pho down there.
So I keep checking in on him. How you doing? How's it holding up? And so, what's the status out there? Any of you guys friends with some of these people? How are they making do? I've been in communication with Last Exit, and that's really the
Mhm.
only venue I've been in touch with.
I get to chat with Kim from Club Red from time to time, and of course,
Yep.
they're struggling like everybody else is. But she's keeping in really good spirits despite everything that's going on. It's just tough to see this happen to my friends and to my community.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I know we lost a couple. You mentioned, what was the one you mentioned earlier, Dave? I think it's gone out.
uh,
Something
one
was
of one of the
Oh, Steel Horse. Steel Horse.
yeah.
Steel Horse. Okay.
Steel Horse is gone, right?
I think, did Gypsies close as well?
That I don't know.
I haven't heard anything about them.
I'm on their thing. I see things. I haven't seen actually anything in a while, but I don't remember, to my recollection, seeing anything about closing. I know they kind of slowed things down, but I haven't heard anything explicitly about closing. I could be wrong on that, but I'm not sure.
And I think the Blues threatened to close and then didn't close. I don't know if they're still open or not.
Oh, geez. And Blues
Oh,
were around
no,
forever
man.
too. God.
Rhythm Room. I know you guys don't really play at the Rhythm Room, but Zack has, because Zack plays every freaking where. You played the Rhythm Room, right?
Yeah, I have actually.
I mean, everyone's
Right there.
all the genres basically of the clubs that hosted them and those that would host anyone like the Rebel, well, mostly.
Yeah.
They're all struggling. So
Yes, they are.
we want to make sure that
They're
as
renting their
bands-
space out on their billboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as bands and as fans, we got to get out there and help them sell some tickets when we're done.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at the venues the same way I think Michael was talking about looking at, the day-to-day, where it's like, okay, don't really make any plans. We're just going to kind of see who's left standing at the end of this, because, and then even if you close a few of them down because, they've run out of money to stay open, some places are going to take their place, some new
Indeed,
venues.
there'll be more.
Yeah.
There'll be another place, and places are still going to open. Because I
It'll
mean,
be sad for a little while, and then we'll have a new favorite place, and then we'll move on. It's the way of the way this thing works. So hey, maybe Dave, maybe you and I should open a venue at some point.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
With a stage and who on the call has lots of bucks. Anyone to help.
So like deer or like.
Thanks a
Like
little
money.
bit. Yeah. Oh, he's okay. He's on.
What do you mean by
fire.
bucks?
And with that, I think I'll kind of bring us to an end. Hey guys, I appreciate your time, Zack.
Yes, sir.
Next week we're going to try a songwriters circle again.
Sure.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be people that write for bands versus like solo performers. And
Mhm.
so we're going to talk a little bit about, you mentioned all your projects, writing for the different projects.
Yeah, I do both. Yeah.
And so if you're bored next Sunday and want to sit back and have a beer again, we'd be happy to chat with you a little
Wow.
bit.
How could I say no?
We've
Sure.
We've got Chris from the Scorched, and I don't even know who all's on that yet, but
That
Yeah,
sounds pretty cool.
that sounds lovely.
I'll figure that out like 10 minutes before the call, I guess. But
shoot me an invite. I'd like to hang out for.
okay, sure. And I'll get the video over to you as soon as it downloads.
Sure.
I haven't figured out the streaming part yet, so
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, is it like we have it recorded and then it gets kind of like
yeah,
save it and we can share it, or what's the deal?
Yeah, we'll
I don't
do
know
that.
computers.
Yeah, that's what we do. We share it. I'll probably stick it on YouTube to make it real easy for everybody. All
Good.
right, so send you files direct. And how
I just wanted to say really quickly, first and foremost, it's really good to see your guys' face again. I can't tell you how much I missed you guys. Like, this music community is my home, and I don't get to see almost anybody from it anymore. So, thanks for giving me a chunk of your day, boys. It's really good to hear you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, dude, I miss you. Also,
I miss you, man.
You're gonna make me cry.
I love you, man.
Dave, I just wanted to say that Rick that's hanging on the wall behind you has had my
Sexy.
eye since the minute you opened this.
I know. I was like, God damn it! I saw it. I was like, guitar.
Yeah.
Like, it's like he knew. He's like, what guitar porn can I put behind me to make us stay, pay attention to the whole call?
I only have 4, and I stick them right there. No.
That's right. That was well placed, sir.
And I got the wall. There's a bass and something I got to hang in another Les Paul over there. But
Jesus.
anyway,
nicely done.
I've been kind of upgrading as I've bought and sold a little. Keeping the good stuff, that's how we do it. Anyway, guys, take care. And if you need anything, give me a call. And I won't be able to do a thing about it, but I can send some love.
Sometimes that's all you need, man. That's sometimes a phone call and that's all you need.
Yeah, the love and a virtual hug, but if you need
it.
masks and sanitizer, you're on your own.
Yeah, fair enough. Stock them on toilet paper or something.
I love you, boys.
Love y'all. Have a good night.
You guys take care. Thank you.
Later.
Well, boys.
How do I get out of this thing?
See you later, guys.
I have no idea.
Leave.
Later.
Okay, everyone's gone. We did it. Bye-bye. Okay. Coming down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Well, that's different. Becoming pregnant as a surrogate, not giving it for adoption.
It was like, who the hell is Ethan girl?
I was.
I could tell the face.
I could not. And I said, but for the something of it, I'll check my control. You know, I would do everything I could to prevent that. And so, but if it came out, I would get abortion in that situation.
Well, I agree.
No, it's not the baby's fault. Well, it's not a baby, it's a speech. I said, and if I was aware of what happened, I'd be checking constantly until, you know. Oh, no. And then I take care of it as soon as possible.
All that morning sickness that you got past.
Why did you go for a whole bunch of surgery? That is more complicated. I would expect to see how other people feel. Like, especially if it's like a really young couple.
I'm looking for. What am I looking for? I'm looking for.
I also think that one was really being telling about the pregnant. Right, because they have multiple baby expenses.
There'll be lots of expenses.
That's another thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
There's such a fascination.